Hi everyone, just thought I'd put together a short video to show you some of the basics of using Discord. In this example I'm going to be using Discord on a PC, so the screen that you see will be the sort of thing you'd see using a PC or a Mac. It might look slightly different if you're using a mobile device such as a phone or a tablet, but the principles should still be the same. So first of all, this is our main screen, split into a number of sections. On the far left hand side, this list here, we have a list of servers that you are currently subscribed to. Now I use Discord for a number of things, so I'm subscribed to a number of channels. I'm guessing most of you will just have the Scaling Down Sailing Club channel. Next to that, we have the list of categories and channels. So the category, for example, general, will have a number of channels in amongst it. So we've got welcome, announcements, committee, so on and so forth. We've got a sailing category down here, and if we expand that, it's got racing, social sailing, buddy sailing, training, coaching. So you get the idea that we have a number of categories and a number of channels within those. Those are configurable by the site admins, so if you particularly want a new category or channel put in there, that's not a problem. You can message us in the in this help channel, and we can certainly arrange that. Moving along to the center, which is our main screen, and this is where you will see any messages which are posted in a particular category. So currently we've got announcements there. If I change this to the welcome channel, you'll see that we've got a whole list of messages in the welcome channel. So this is where I get a notification that when you join the server, I get a notification to say that you've joined, and then at that point I check your membership status and set you up so that you can actually see all these channels, or most of these channels. The reason I say most is that if we go back into the category channel list, you'll see that some of them, and it may be difficult to see on your screen, but some of the channels have a little padlock icon, and that means that they're locked to a particular group of people. So for instance, the committee, we have a channel here that the committee can use for communications they want to do themselves, but maybe not yet talk to the main membership about. We've got site administrators is locked, and we can also use it if we go down to things like youth and junior. The whole youth and junior thing, for safeguarding purposes, is locked for people who have the youth and junior role assigned to them. So moving along, we talked about our main screen where the messages are, and on the far right hand side we've got the list of members. So we've got it shows in who's currently online, and then the offline members. So currently it's showing us we've got 48 offline members there, and we can scroll down. You'll notice that some people have different colors. So for instance, Carol and Andy are in yellow. That's because they've been assigned an administrator role. Andy for racing and Carol for youth and junior. So that's the basics of the screen. So let's take a look at how we actually communicate within Discord. So we first of all choose the category that we want to post our message in. So the category and then the channel. So for this example, I'm going to use the help channel. And you can see that there are already a number of messages in there which you can read, and if you decide that you want to reply to one of these messages or you want to post a new message, you will also see in the there is a box in the bottom there where you can add your message, and currently it says in there message #help. So that means that my message is going to be posted in the help channel. As I start to type, please can you add a new channel? Okay, so put the message, You just press enter and the message is added to the channel. Now, if you wanted to actually notify someone, or you wanted someone to be notified that you've posted a new message, let's just say for example that you wanted this message to go to me, or you wanted me to be notified that someone has posted something for my attention, we can use what we call an at mention. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to type the same message again, please, but this time I want to do Tony Johnson. So I do the at symbol, and that brings up a whole list of some of the members and some of the roles associated with it. So we already talked a little bit about roles. We had administrator and that type of thing. So, but as soon as I start typing Tony, so I typed a T, anyone with a T in their username starts to come up, and as I start the type, you see that it filters down. There's only Tony Johnson left in that list now, so I click on Tony Johnson, and you can see in the message that that has turned it into a nice blue color. And if I hover over that, it actually says what my user details are, my sort of login details, so you know that it's actually tagged me. So we shall finish that message. Please can you add a new channel. Hit enter again, and this time it's actually tagged. Now what that means is that I will get a notification to say that someone has mentioned me in a post, and I can go straight to that message. What you will also find, which I can demonstrate on this far left hand side, is that you see this little icon for this server here, the Marmite Racing Community, has a little indicator next to it to say that there are some unread messages in there. So, use of the at symbol. You do have to be a little bit careful when you're using the at mention, and what I'll try to demonstrate here is if I type in the at symbol again and choose my name. So I start to type. I can see myself in the list. I must select the name from the list, or for instance, if I was trying to tag Graham Hinton, I would need to select Graham's name from the list. If I just continue to type and use the space key and just type in Tony Johnson, it just thinks that it's normal text, and the fact of putting the space in there has just meant it stopped searching in the user list. So what I suggest you do is, once you've started typing the name and you've got the list, it's narrowed the list down, is actually select the name from the list. It turns a different color, and we've got the at mention there, and I get the notification. Okay. You can also draw someone's attention to a message in another channel. So, for instance, if I wanted to bring someone's attention to something in the racing channel, so let's just say that Andy has posted a message in there, and I want to say, right, that's Tony Johnson. Take a look at Andy's message in the, and at this point I want the message say where which channel the message is in. So instead of using the at symbol, I just use the hashtag symbol. Put the hashtag symbol in, and it gives me a list of all the text channels. So I knew that it was going to be in the racing one, so I start to type R for racing. It appears at the top, and again, so that message is now set. So if I'm reading this message, Tony Johnson, take a look at Andy's message in racing channel, just click on racing, and it takes me directly to the racing channel in categories. Okay, I think that's pretty much the sort of basics. One of the things that we can do just to add a little bit of variety is if you decide that your message you've put a typing error or you've typed something incorrectly, if you just hover the mouse over the right hand side of the message, you can see you have an edit button there. Click the edit button, it just allows you to go in and change your message. The other thing that we can do is if you like someone's message, you can add a reaction to it. So if I particularly like or find that message particularly funny, I can put an icon down there. I can add some more. So I find that message funny and cool. I've added some icons to it, and Discord allows you to direct message a person. Okay, so we talked about tagging people. If I want to direct message someone, so for instance, if I wanted to direct message Carol, I can either find Carol in this member list over here. So click on Carol's name there, and I have a thing which says message Carol Blades. So I can start to type a message in there. And that will appear up here in a list of. So you go to the home screen at the top, and your categories channels list turns into a list of members that you have personally messaged before. Certainly messaged Phil. Okay. So these are just direct messages between me and Phil. So as I say, this is a direct message, so no other members will see this. It's just personal communication between Phil and myself. Phil will get a notification every time I post something in here. Phil will get a notification, and if he decides to reply to me, I will get a notification that he replies back. So one thing I talked about was getting notifications, and you might find that you really don't want to be getting notifications every time someone posts a message. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can reduce those. So we go back up to the server that we're using, scaling down. I hover the mouse over that server and I right click, and it gives me some options. And if I come down here into notification sessions, you can see that allows, so server notification sessions, I can choose all messages, which tends to drive you daft. You can say I want a notification only when someone mentions me, so when someone puts @Tony Johnson, I will get a notification, or I can choose to get nothing at all. So it's all messages, only @mentions, or nothing at all. Okay, hopefully that's given you a little bit of an overview as to what Discord is about and how useful it can be. If you've got any comments or you want any help, there's this help channel here. Just post a message in there, mention @Tony Johnson, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for listening.